Drama and commentary channels serve as YouTube's in-house media factions, offering independent coverage and opinions on the activities of fellow YouTubers and social media personalities. Among these, CreepShow Art, whose real name is Shannon, was one of the largest voices within the YouTube drama and commentary community. At her peak, Shannon amassed a subscriber base of nearly 500,000. She started out in ArtTube, the YouTube niche where artists will record themselves drawing and talk over the footage. Over time, she transitioned into discussing YouTube and online controversies, a move that propelled her into the spotlight. With a consistent posting schedule, she adeptly capitalized on trending subjects to maximize viewership. Shannon created her channel on April 4th, 2016, and started uploading videos on March 20th, 2018, making storytime videos and then rants over her footage of drawing pieces of artwork.
Hey guys, it's CreepShow Anything for Views Art here, milking my sexuality for those sweet, sweet views. If you all are here to see some girl cry about her sexuality, then you are straight up out of luck, because this isn't the time. There will be no tears. I am motherfucking Ariana Grande in this bitch. Can you actually have a coming out video though without crying? Yes. Yes. And you want to know why? Because my sexuality literally does not matter. Doesn't matter all that much to me. Doesn't matter all that much to my life partner. Doesn't matter to the future dogs we're gonna have or my future children. And it sure as fuck shouldn't matter to you or anyone around you.
She would record herself drawing and add a story from her personal life for the latest internet drama over the footage. Obviously, this was nothing new, but Shannon's raw emotion separated her from the pack. She was adept at speaking to the audience like they were her best friends, and she had no problem sharing intimate, embarrassing details. In fact, it became her shtick, and people loved it. She seems to have hit the perfect mixture of comedy and sympathy.
Hi guys, my name is Shannon, and today I'm going to be telling you all about the time my grandma accused me of being addicted to porn. Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing today. That's how I'm spending my time. Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today I'm here to admit something pretty dang important about myself. I am a narcissist. That's right. I was fully diagnosed by some hipster bitch, so you know it's real.
Over time, there was a shift in Shannon's priorities as she pulls away from story times to focus on drama videos. Shannon shifted her content to make primarily commentaries on controversial people, circumstances, and pop culture. She covered everyone from Daddy05 to Nicole Arbor and anyone else who was a hot topic. As a popular drama channel with nearly 500,000 followers, it's not unusual that CreepShow Art had a lolcow sub-forum dedicated to commentary on their channel. Over the years, audiences have shared both praise and criticism for Shannon and her content on this sub-forum, propelling her channel's growth and maintaining her relevancy in the YouTube community. However, now it seems that much of that discourse was coming from Shannon herself. On June 2nd, a moderator for lolcow, an online gossip forum where users post anonymously about influencers, outed the owner of an account that they claimed belonged to Shannon. The forum has a set of rules, including that users cannot post for attention or profit or deceptively post about yourself in the third person. In addition to promoting her own online presence and doxing her sister, Shannon has allegedly used lolcow to have two-way conversations with herself in order to drum up controversy, make fatphobic and ableist comments, frequently using the R word, as well as slander many of her industry friends, including AngeloWallace and Ready to Glare, both of whom she has publicly supported on her CreepShow Art channel. The 292 posts from the account also included offensive comments, sometimes referencing race or sexuality, targeting other YouTubers who post similar content. Another comment made allegations about the sexuality of Edwin's Costa of Edwin's generation. The account also wrote that Sikuno, a video game streamer on Twitch with 3.5 million followers, has, quote, "the most fucked up skin I have seen on an Asian man." While moderators did not explicitly explain why they believed the account to belong to Shannon, lolcow uses cookies that moderators can cross-reference with IP addresses to discern who runs each account posting on the site. Shannon responded in a post on her YouTube community page saying that the person running the lolcow account was a person named Amy, a pseudonym for a woman who stalked her for 8 years. The next day, Shannon posted another statement on Instagram saying that she was handling the situation legally and that she wouldn't post online until she can prove without a shadow of a doubt what occurred was not her doing. Shortly after lolcow's decision, Shannon posted to her community tab on YouTube and made a few conflicting remarks. She confirmed that the IP addresses associated with the posts were really hers, but claimed that her stalker had been the one posting from her IP address, which Shannon said was spoofed. This isn't possible over the course of multiple years, and Shannon's own friends expressed doubt. Shortly after, Shannon disappeared from the internet with claims that she'll return only if she can legally prove the posts weren't hers. Many of the posts are just flippant shitposts, but the concerning ones include doxing her own sister while she was in the hospital, advertising her videos, praising herself, criticizing herself, making hateful transphobic and fat-shaming comments, nastily attacked other people's appearances, and saying mean things about fellow creators that she was publicly friends with or had public feuds with. That's extremely at odds with Shannon's whole reputation. She has made a prolific, profitable online career off asking social media figures to take accountability for actions she determines are morally reprehensible, including shit-talking friends and being bigoted. Everyone is hypocritical from time to time, but Shannon seems to have draped herself in anonymity to go undercover and blatantly disregard every principle she claimed to stand for. One of the most mind-blowing elements of Shannon's alleged lolcow postings is the seemingly compulsive, irrational nature of them. Any self-promotion she received from her posts would be insignificant compared to the overall reach of her channel. The same could be said for negative repercussions when lolcow said she antagonized her friends and competitors. Several years ago, CreepShow Art made a video about Amy, her alleged stalker. There were a lot of red flags in this video right away as she started the video off with a disclaimer blaming herself for being stalked and criticizing people who cry or show emotion when they share these type of stories. According to her in this video, showing emotion about a traumatizing situation is manipulation. This seemed to be a psychological contortion in which she was attempting to alleviate herself of guilt and blame as a stalker by shifting that blame to the person being stalked. Even though in the video she was asking the audience to not feel sorry for her and think that it was her own fault for going through harassment and trauma, it makes more sense if you realize she wanted to project those things onto Emily, the person she was allegedly stalking and harassing in real life. On June 12th, YouTuber Emily Artful came out with a highly anticipated exposé about Shannon. In this 2-hour video, she breaks down her personal history with Shannon and Shannon's partner, Anthony, who Shannon has stated is her husband. This history begins before either Shannon or Emily launched their YouTube channels. Specifically, Emily accused Anthony of raping her during an abusive on-and-off-again relationship during a period of Emily's life when she says she was addicted to heroin. Emily knew Shannon as Anthony's co-worker in California, where the three of them used to live, according to public social media posts made by each person. Emily doesn't have concrete proof for all of her claims, but the screenshots, photos, and videos she does have paint a compelling portrait of years of alleged abuse at Anthony's hands. The extent of Shannon's involvement isn't fully discernible, but it seems that Shannon knowingly stood by and defended Anthony despite Emily confronting her with the allegations. Anthony went on to date Shannon, who, unbeknownst to Emily, began to cyberstalk Emily. Emily's Facebook account was hacked, and she was unable to recover it. Via access to her Facebook messages, Anthony and Shannon were able to get compromising images of Emily when she was underage, which they would use for years to attempt to blackmail her.
Something else I noticed kind of retroactively was that I was receiving a lot of Facebook friend requests from people that I didn't know, but I would have like a handful of mutual friends with. So I would, of course, accept these requests. And these were coming from Andrew. Now, they ended up phishing me and locking me out of that original Facebook account. Now, I had that original Facebook account since I was a minor, since Facebook came out. And hidden in the messages of that account were some compromising photographs. Now, most of them were of me as an adult, but unfortunately, there were a few of me as a minor. And I tried to express that to my stalker several times, but they just disregarded it and said that I was a liar, which was infuriating and deeply upsetting and traumatizing. And what did they do with these photographs? Well, they went ahead and put them into a photo bucket account, as well as some other photographs from a website that I was on. At this point, I was doing some webcamming, not exactly something that I was doing of my own free will. A lot of that wasn't, but that's not Andrew and Shannon's fault. But they compiled a bunch of photographs, inappropriate photographs of me in this photo bucket account, and just taunted me with them. And I didn't really have control of much. I tried to get a regular job, and Andrew and potentially Shannon found out about this regular job and decided to email my job and send them a compromising video of myself. They posed as a client, said, "I'm a regular client. You've lost my business because look at your, disgusting human being of a receptionist." Now, I am going to try and get in touch with this job to confirm that they did fire me because they received this email. Looks like they've had a change in business name, but I think that that will be a very important receipt. So I'm really going to try hard to get that.
When Emily started her YouTube channel, she began getting negative comments from sock puppet comments. When her first video did numbers, Anthony contacted her on Twitter to harass her about buying subscribers, something she did not do. 2 years after Emily created her channel, Shannon created CreepShow Art and began to also do sketchbook storytime videos under the same name as Emily was using. Emily contacted her and asked her to use a different name, very politely, not knowing who Shannon was. Shannon agreed. After this interaction, more sock puppet accounts emerged and the harassment worsened. An anonymous stalker, who we now know is allegedly Anthony, came to Emily's town and began to harass her with threats of coming to her house and harming her and her children. Emily then began to track the IP of her stalkers after sending them a link to click that revealed their location, which just happened to coincide with where Shannon and Anthony lived. By this time, Emily knew Shannon was dating Anthony and was involved in this. The next time Shannon contacted Emily, she asked her if she was involved in stalking her and told her she was going to the authorities. Shannon denied everything and tried to pass the blame on to a mutual friend of Anthony and Emily's.
Are you the one that's been stalking me? Or is it Andrew? We can be candid now because I know it's one of you. Those fake accounts you've been making have led me right to Oregon. I suspected it was him at first when he went on a spree on his main account on Twitter, trying to convince my followers I bought my subscribers and my views. Almost immediately after he did that, a mysterious new Twitter account accused me of the same thing, also with an IP from that area in Oregon. When I first started to get harassed, you both must still have been in San Jose, because that IP came from somewhere in San Jose. But at the time, I had no idea who it was. But now, over time, in order to protect myself and my family, I decided to get smarter. So I just really don't know if it's you or him. Either way, I've been giving all this information to the police, including the more accurate IP from that Lily Singh account. All I ask is to be left alone by you and your boyfriend. It's been 8 years. Shannon says, look, honestly, I'm sorry from what you've gone through. I don't know you all that well, but accusing us of doing shit we don't know about isn't cool. Like, Andrew already told me that you thought he did it, and honestly, I didn't worry about it because it didn't seem like that big of a deal. None of this was my business, and Andrew told me about how you were harassed back in the day, so I just thought it was another one of those anime fanboys who wanted attention. Again, he thought it was funny. They had sent him shit, and we don't have the time to mess with you, honest to God. We've been homeless on and off, working shitty jobs, and working on our art a lot. Like, we don't have time to obsess over you and your really cute family. I want to say no offense, but like, that's not offensive. Shannon continues, I get where you're coming from with the accusation. I've been harassed by a girl who catfished me for about 12 years now. I find that really interesting because 4 months after this, she made her I was stalked, for 8+ years story time. I know exactly how long I have been stalked by you, Shannon. I think it's weird that you put 8+ in your title when you tell me 12 years. Why wouldn't you just say, I have been stalked for 12 years in your title? I don't know. I just thought that inconsistency was interesting. Shannon continues, I can't really explain why Andrew is as random as he is, though. That one's a mystery. I think he just thought it would be funny. It wasn't, but he'd never intentionally try to hurt you. He's got a lot of respect for you. Like, you've collaborated with him in his music. You know how important that is to him. He's not the type of person who lets someone in like that and then switches on him, If that makes sense. I feel like it does. I don't know. I said, I'm going to be filing a restraining order. I just have too much evidence to believe otherwise. I will not be pressing any charges because, like I said, I don't want to hurt or ruin anyone's lives. I'm just a little afraid now that I'm a mother. I want to protect my children and my family at any cost. The restraining order will prevent Andrew and you by association of IP from contacting me, but that's okay because we don't really need to talk anyway. So if it's not you, you have nothing to worry about because a private investigator will locate the address and the new IP. And if it's not you guys, then the hunt continues. Here's where I start to show a little bit of doubt and weakness, and she just totally pounces on it. I said, look, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. I know I seem crazy, but it's been 8 years of harassment, and I have an obligation not only to myself, but to my children. That's why I've done nothing up until this point. I didn't care that it was just happening to me, but my kids are my whole life. Shannon said, no, I completely understand. I said, I'm sorry. I know I sound insane if you really have nothing to do with this, but I just have to go with my gut. Again, if it's really not you guys, then that will prove itself. Shannon said, do what you need to do, but it isn't me. It isn't Andrew. That's all I can vouch for. If anything, he's more confused as to why you think it's him when he had you in a video while you were being harassed, and he got shit from it, Shannon says, and I feel ya. I really do. I get where you're coming from on this, but no one here has the time to mess with you. I said, yeah, I promise you there are things that don't make sense to me either. There are several things that make me think it's not Andrew, but there are just a lot of uncanny coincidences, and it may just be that, coincidences. But this is the route I've decided to take, and the truth is, even though I'm mostly convinced, I still respect his intelligence, his art, your intelligence, your art, your lives. I don't want to get in anyone's way. I just want to make stupid art videos for my internet friends. I want to live in peace. I can take the hate, but I can't take the fear of losing my job and not being able to support my kids or losing my kids. Shannon said, honestly, there's no way for me to prove it's not me, but it'll sort itself out. No, I completely understand that point. You have a family. As someone who's sensitive issues, that's a huge deal for me. I would never try to hurt someone like that, but there is no way you can actually know that for sure, because you don't know me.
After Emily and Shannon communicate, Shannon makes her own video and posts it on the CreepShow Art channel about her stalker, named Amy. The details are suspiciously similar to what Emily is going through with Shannon, and one might even suspect that Shannon made this video to deflect blame off herself in case Emily did decide to come forward with her own story around that time. Shannon claims that for the past 8.5 years, she was being stalked by a former friend who knew intimate details and had access to nude pictures of her from when she was 15 and was using them to blackmail her, but that she had talked it out recently with this supposed Amy, and it's all good now. There has never been any proof Amy exists. Shannon confirmed that Emily's ex, Anthony, is her current partner in the purported DMs between her and Emily that are shown at the tail end of the video. She never disputed the establishing facts of Emily's narrative, similar to how she confirmed the lolcow postings were associated with her authentic IP address. In her denials, Shannon sealed her fate, because she inadvertently confirmed the existence of these breadcrumb trails and patterns. All of this harassment of Emily is corroborated by an old college classmate of Shannon's. Shannon has a history of harassing others. YouTuber and literal child at the time, Hopeless Peaches found herself on the wrong end of Shannon for apparently no reason at all, and Shannon didn't quit until Peaches was literally about ready to unalive herself. At which time, Shannon sent her an email saying, "You have so much to live for." Emily has since shared a thread Twitter exposing Shannon's alleged sock puppet accounts. Many users have been adding to the list with screenshots of accounts they speculate are Shannon as well. Julia Christina Phillip of the YouTube channel Ready to Glare has also spoken out against Shannon, someone she considered a friend for years. Julia Christina was the subject of numerous nasty posts Shannon allegedly made on lolcow despite their friendship. In a new video, Julia Christina explained that she took time off to process her emotions about the situation, as well as gather as much information as she could to come to her own conclusions. The creator says she believes Shannon made all those posts and her IP address was not spoofed. She also explains that a similar situation has happened to her in the past with a friend posting about her on lolcow, and the admins were correct in tracing his posts at the time. CreepShow Art has been MIA for years now. For a while, after her lolcow postings got exposed, she left up her Instagram account but removed all the posts. Her Instagram is now completely deleted, and her former friends say that she has ghosted them and even gotten a new phone number. I don't believe we'll be seeing her active on social media anytime soon. I also think this can serve as a healthy reminder to remain skeptical. When you spend hours listening to someone, it can feel like you're getting to know them. But the internet can be a convincing facade. Don't let your opinions be solely guided by one source, and be careful where you place your trust. This was the cautionary tale of CreepShow Art, the internet's biggest hypocrite and stalker.